Another part of the story actually was that about a year later, although I had seen God transform my life, I started sharing my testimony with others. And I heard from Muslims, "Oh, I am a Muslim because I also have a feeling and had kind of a supernatural experience." I heard from Mormons, "Yes, that's exactly why I'm a Mormon. The same reason you're a Christian. I had the burning in my bosom. It sounds like the same thing you experienced in the shower. I've had the burning in the bosom as well." I started hearing from Jehovah's Witnesses, "Oh, I have a feeling too." Or I had a subjective personal experience as well. I heard from atheists, "Oh, I experienced the kind of freedom that you're experiencing as a Christian. I've experienced that as an atheist, as I've thrown off all the chains of religion and the chains of God's expectations." And so I really started wondering and doubting, did I meet the one true God? Am I following the one true God? Or did I assume that the God of the Bible is the one true God because I was surrounded by I was breathing the air of Western civilization, and I knew a Christian, and I called a Christian, and a Christian invited me to church, a Christian invited me to Athletes in Action, and a Christian shared the gospel. And did I just believe them naively when perhaps if I had been living in some other country, I would have called a Muslim friend who would have introduced me to the imam, who would have told me about Islam. And given my background with my motivational program and my success in tennis and in academics, from visualization, goal setting, self-discipline, determination, focus, all of these things that I was really good at and that I had honed through basically listening to inspirational and even I would say at times indoctrinational tapes, um, did I change my life and attribute it to God? Am I assuming that it's the God of the Bible that is who is the one true God, when really I have concocted this in my very powerful mind because I know how powerful my mind can be. And so at that point, I started investigating and looking into Christian apologetics and looking at the evidence. And it was at that point, through studying the evidence for Christianity, as well as for Islam and Buddhism and Mormonism and basically every major worldview, that I became absolutely certain that Christianity is the way, the truth, the way. It is the way, and that Jesus is the way and the truth and the life, and that Christianity is true. Islam is not true. It is a lie. Mormonism is not true. Just because good, people who are very friendly and well-meaning and well-intentioned believe these things, that doesn't mean that they must be as good or as true as Christianity. They're not. And so I would encourage people to study the evidence and look at the reasons behind each of the major worldviews. And I am absolutely confident that you may not have a supernatural experience like I had. You may have access instead to the evidence, to the scriptures and things like that. I think that God gave me a supernatural experience that was that intense and that unusual because I wanted the truth. I wanted to know the truth, and I didn't know how to find it, and I didn't know who to talk to, and I didn't know I didn't know what to do, and nobody was coming seeking after me, sharing the gospel with me. And so God came after me. But if you have other resources, uh, those may be the way that God is going to show you the truth, and he will work in your life if you ask him to, and he will forgive you if you ask him to. He will be faithful to his promises. That doesn't mean, of course, that life will be easy, not even close. But it does mean that it will be good. It will be adventurous. It'll be amazing. It'll be fulfilling and rewarding and purposeful. And even the very, very hardest events and circumstances, God will work in those for your good and for his glory. None of it's meaningless.